Hello, flatties and ballers, the critical thing from down under. And I've been down to the seaside again, and I've got some beautiful pictures and videos. And I'm afraid there's not a lot of flatness there. Certainly, there is curvature. And I'm also going to go through all the reasons why it is curvature. And I have the video evidence right there, so keep on watching. So here we are at Mooloolaba. This is the location of the shooting in this video, and actually we're at Alexandra Headland and Sunshine Coast. Now I've taken some photos from the beach, and then mainly up this hill here. So there's a shed there. I've taken some photos from there, and down there's a, hard to tell exactly, but I think this is the place on the beach here. And here where I've taken some more photos. So points of interest, there's an island up here, Majimba Island. It's about 4 miles away from where we're taking the photos. So we'll have a look here. Wasn't right up the top, but I was fairly high, which gives a good view. And this island there is 4 miles away, not very far in terms of the curvature of the earth, but that's that one I'm not checking if we're going over the curvature because it's too close. So what I was looking at was some ships, and I'll just go through the ships. This first ship I forgot to get more details, but I know the ship's there, and you'll see that from the photos. And the distance back to the ship to where I was looking from is 8.29 miles, 13.35 kilometers. And then this is the ship, which a couple of days later was en route. It had come off anchor and was moving towards the port. Then I actually saw this ship as well on that day, and when I took this picture, it was currently at anchor. And this one too, which you see is the middle of the ocean en route from Brisbane to somewhere, maybe that's Taiwan. And so that's it with the map, and I can give you, actually we can do the street view thing here. So I was taking some pictures from the grass here, and there's that island, Manjiba Island over there, and also walked down the hill here and got some more photos from this area. There's a little bit further on, there's a path down somewhere here. There's a path down, and I went down there and got some more photos. So it's a nice location, great for looking out over the ocean. And yeah, so that through there is the view I had from this grass point there. The ship was out there on this day. Okay, so here's a picture I managed to snap by accident actually. Now there is a small boat out in the ocean, and it's not over any curve, it's simply obscured by the swell. Now the flatties will tell you that we use these examples as evidence of curvature. No,
That's not true. You can see that the swell, I don't know, maybe it's about a 1 meter swell, and the boat's gone down in this particular shot. And so I'm not counting that as any curvature, no way. Here is that ship that's anchored out in the middle of the ocean, and yes, we're counting that as curvature because it's a long way away. You can see the size of the swell. The ship's certainly a lot bigger than that. We're above the ocean by a reasonable amount, and there's a certain amount of the hull missing from the boat, and clearly you cannot zoom in and reveal the hull because we're already zooming in there. No amount of zooming will reveal that hull, contrary to popular flat earth belief. So here's a picture from up higher, so I can actually view file info. It gives us some yes, so here is up by the shed, and this one is down on the beach, and you can see the difference in the view from there. When you're down on the beach, the observer height is changed down. Then you have amount of curvature, amount of the ship hidden behind the curvature. If you want to run the numbers, you'll find that they'll actually work pretty accurately in this case. This point's about 50 feet up in the air, and you can see the whole ship, and you know it's not quite over the horizon. It's still on in front of the horizon, just in this particular photo. And there's another wider shot. And while I was here, I moved slightly, and I've found this ship going by, and now you can see it's right on the waterline, well in front of us. We're high, we can see the whole ship. And the interesting thing to see about these photos is it's a very clear day. There's not a whole lot of chop or swell, and there's very little mirroring, very little refraction, so you can erase all those excuses from the equation here. And then these are common excuses used for saying it's not curvature, it's this, that, or the other. So there's a good clear shot of that ship, and I'll close that. And see, there's no mirror line in this particular shot. There's no distortion in this particular shot. There are some distortion in some of the other pictures, and you can tell the size of the swell. Look at that on the side of the boat. There's no way that size of that swell is going to conceal a whole ship. And there's another photo, and you should particularly notice the line of the ship here and this little black window there. And you can see how it's not exceptionally rough. And here's my video. I'll turn down the sound. And there's the second ship that came through, and I'm actually down a bit lower. And zoom out. Zoom in, and the ship is, it's sort of like maybe just starting to appear over the horizon there because we've gone lower. So here's a zooming in again on that ship there, and there's that little square there. Just take notice of that. Now, because I'm a little bit lower, you'll notice that there's no red. The red that was on the bottom of the ship before, you can see red there. We've gone down a little bit lower and the red's not there anymore, and you can see how big this ship is in comparison to a little boat. You can see that this little boat could easily get lost in the swell. You can easily zoom out and lose this boat and zoom in and see this little boat again, and that's probably what's caused the myth about zooming in and revealing hulls. But we're zoomed right in now, and we're still not revealing the bottom of this hull that we've seen before. And we don't really know how far away this particular boat is. It's very hard to tell. And then we're starting to lose some of the bottom of that ship there, and we're losing, going down. We've got a different, so we'll go a little bit higher and a little bit lower, and we're losing more of the ship. So there's losing more of the ship beyond the curve. So here's the video from the location near, not quite right on the beach, but down very low. And you can see now that because we've gone lower, the ship is now over the horizon according to our observer height, because we're missing the bottom of that ship. And you can tell the size of the waves and how high we are above the waves. So there's no way that the waves are going to obscure a whole ship's hull. So this one's now gone, we've gone lower, and the ship's actually heading away from us, and now all that middle section of the hull is obscured by the curve now. Okay, so I don't like to go on too long. There's a fair bit of information in that video so far. I'm going to give you the rest of it in a second installment, and I'm going to now just do a quick recap, so stand by. Okay, we have a boat here that's not over the curve. We have a ship here that is over the curve. We have a ship here which is not over the curve. And we have the same ship which is now over the curve. Now, I don't know why people worry about lasers and all the trouble and expense. You can just go out to the shoreline and take a look. Now, these lines of sight to the ship are just the same as light traveling anywhere. It doesn't have, you don't have to shine a laser. You can go out in the daytime and see these things. Like, just imagine, for instance, that there was a laser on the side of this ship. Now, as it went over the horizon, you wouldn't see the light anymore, because the light from the ship is being obscured by the horizon. So put away your lasers, get outside, look at some ships. I just thought of one more thing. Taboo Conspiracy just put out a new video where he says, no Globie, something like this, no Globie will ever tell you to go out and find the curvature. Something like that. Well, I'm telling you, go out, look at a ship, find the curvature for yourself. It's very easy to find. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and please stay tuned for the second installment. Subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified when it comes out. Thanks very much.